Oh, we got cars up here. Oh, what's that? Well, anyone who's been in EVs for any time at all will recognise Electric Highway. These were the original chargers that came in long time ago, usually 50 kilowatt dual bay chargers, and never very good, but they were around. And that was taken over by GridServe a number of years ago, and they still keep the name Electric Highway. But it's moved on since those days. And also we look down, they're looking a little bit tired. The 50 kilowatts on average, little bit out of date now in terms of power. So things are moving on. And what we're going up to now is the very latest chargers. They're from ABB, and they are very different. They're doing away with the cabinets. The substation is just over there, out of camera shot. Cables will come underneath the road, and those are their own cabinets and chargers all in one go. These are 360 kilowatts, so a little bit up from the 350s that everybody knows, the single pillar. And these are dual bay, so they're shared. They have a computer inside, and it's what's called intelligent charging. And that means that if you plug two cars in, the computer will analyse which car can take which charge, and it's supposed to proportion them accordingly. So if you have something like a Dasher Spring, which can only take 28 kilowatts, believe it or not, here, and you have a Porsche Taycan, which can take 300 odd kilowatts, plug them both in, and this one should give the Porsche Taycan full charge and whatever's left over to the Dasher Spring. GridServe claim that these will give a faster charging experience than the old single bay 350 kilowatts. So this one, as you can see, is not yet open. We're at Killington Lake. This is on the M6. So we're north of Lancaster, south of the Lake District, and this was for a long time just two of the GridServes, the Electric Highways, dual bay 50 kilowatts, two CCS on one side, CCS and a CHAdeMO on the other side. Hopelessly out of date in today's modern world, where no new EVs coming out apart from Dasher Spring wants this sort of low power. So 360 kilowatts, very much better. And these for Hyundai's, Porsche Taycans, etc. These will give the full 1000 volts. So you can charge 800 volt architecture cars here very happily. So this is the future. They've decided to install here 3 chargers, dual bay chargers. So that's 6 charging bays here, and we just happened to catch it. They are all live, but they're behind fencing, and they're waiting really literally just for the painting. And we've happened to catch them right in the middle of a painting session. So it's really interesting to see what goes on, because we often come across them just painted or old style, and very rarely do we catch them working. Well, not even sure they're working now, but that's another subject. So these are going to be painted up. They're going to be out of here tonight once they finish painting, and they're pretty much ready to go. So we imagine GridServe will be along within a very short while, certainly this week I would expect. Tidy it up, open it all up, and this one will go live this week. So they will have gone from total of 3 CCS2 chargers there with an average speed of 50 kilowatts, maximum maybe 25 if you're sharing it, up to 360 kilowatts available if you have a car capable of it. We've got a VD, you have to cut that bit. We have a VW ID Buzz has been charging here. These are gorgeous vehicles to look at. That particular one, lovely colour scheme as well. I like them. They're not selling well, unfortunately. They're vastly overpriced. I think they're about £60,000 or something. They're not cheap vehicles. Classic, iconic. I've had several Volkswagen camper vans, caravanettes in my time. Love the styling of them, but hasn't really caught on, that one, I'm afraid. They would benefit from these faster chargers. So for here, we're seeing this is a continuing story of upgrading our EV charging experience throughout the UK. Everywhere we go, we start seeing these new chargers going in. Oh, we got cars up here. Oh, what's that? Well, that is I'm sorry, I have to stop there because that is something. What is it? Every so often we come across these amazing things. What have we got here? We got a Ford Mustang, but I guarantee you've never seen one like this before in your life. And to find out why, let's just have a quick walk, 3 paces, and you'll see why. How about that? This obviously is a funeral car, a hearse, and it makes absolute sense. This is a conversion. So it started off as a Ford Mustang Mach-E, obvious from that. It is an electric vehicle, full electric vehicle, and it has been converted, professionally converted, into a hearse or a funeral vehicle. And when we were just talking with the company who do the conversion, and what they say is something that's really logical, that if you have a hearse which only ever does 10 miles an hour, you're doing an awful lot of damage to that engine. They never get up to the proper temperature, and they're having an awful lot of problems with the particle filters because they burn off the particles in the air. But with a hearse, you never get above 10 miles an hour, so they never actually burn them off. And they are apparently always going in for replacement filters, which is the best part of £1,000. As everyone's got an EV knows, driving these at 10 miles an hour, absolute silence, and these are absolutely in their elements. So these are brilliant cars, obviously very professional conversion, and you have to think that the comfort and the silence in this would be absolutely amazing after everyone is used to a petrol or a diesel car. Charge up in the normal way. This one's come up from Banbury in Oxfordshire, and they've made it up here on the single charge. The driver was complaining a little bit about cold weather. Does hit the range a little bit, but what a fabulous car this one is. We saw this pulling in and we just couldn't believe it. And it's only when we went round the back and suddenly saw this is actually based on a Mustang Mach-E. So this is one of those little breaks from what we were planning on doing, but we've got to do a video on this, haven't we? It's a lovely car. Okay, you've often wondered how they get these looking so good. We're giving you away all the behind the scenes, the trade secrets here, and they're obviously using templates, stencils for spraying. Great to see all the paint in there. They've got the machine there for spraying, so they're ready to go, and they've said they don't mind us filming. They might regret that decision. Anyway, they're ready to go. Still wet. Get a job at Wimbledon. Okay, you've often wondered how they get these looking so good. We're giving you away all the behind the scenes, the trade secrets here, and they're obviously using templates, stencils for spraying. Great to see all the paint in there. They've got the machine there for spraying, so they're ready to go, and they've said they don't mind us filming. They might regret that decision. Anyway, they're ready to go. Now, one of my videos recently, I did a total ad lib on it, and it probably went on a little bit longer than I was planning. And someone said, why don't you script everything? So here we have a classic case. We scripted this one perfectly on the way down here. We were ready to go. We arrived. We found a Mustang hearse, and we found a crew actually painting a Charger bay. Script has gone out the window, and I'm back to ad-libbing again. So if I repeat myself, that's the way it is. I can't do anything else. So it's been a great experience here, bitterly cold, but we've seen some lovely cars. We've had the VW ID Buzz here charging. We've seen the new Chargers here, but we've also learned something, and that is these are not yet live. They're all lit up. But when we were at filming at Chester East on the M56 about a year ago, we were told that they fired those up when they first installed them and then powered them down. And it was some time before they got around to getting the power back on and turning them live and commissioning them. And in that time, they got an awful lot of condensation inside, and they had a massive amount of trouble trying to fire these things up. There were short circuits, there were funny, there was rust in, there was all sorts gone wrong. So they have a policy now of firing them up and just keeping the heaters on and the fans going. But there's no grid here at the moment. So just in the background over there, we have a power supply, and there's a little diesel, well, let's say a good sized diesel generator there, and that is powering a battery bank. So they run the generator to power up the battery bank so they don't run the generator all the time. They then run the battery bank into an inverter and everything else, and then that brings out power here. So these are not going to go live anytime soon. They're waiting now, once this is all painted and dried, they're going to be waiting for the final connection to the substation, which is just off to my left there. So the power's here to the site. I would imagine now it's all going to be painted up and signed, that they'll be getting back in touch with the DNO to get this one commissioned and live as soon as possible. But interesting day. And it just shows when you make your plans. We came up to the Lake District looking for snow because we're talking about EVs in the cold, and we find a Mustang Mach-E hearse. We find a crew painting up a site, and all sorts of things happen that we hadn't planned. So that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, click the like button. And if you would like to see more, please subscribe. It's free to do so. Just click the button, and we then can notify you every time we launch a new video. So for now, from a freezing cold Lake District, I'm Dave.